How do, guys? We're gonna try and make something here real quick because most of the time I'm working by myself. Wheelbarrow's pretty handy when you're working out in the field, but I'm gonna try and make a little cradle kind of thing that'll hold hopefully 2 spools of barbed wire on this. I'm not sure how well this is gonna go, but we're using scrap wood and a big old long 2x4 that got way wacky on the sawmill, but we'll see how it goes. The farmer in.
Liddell.
The farmer in.
Liddell.
Hi-ho, da dirty do, the farmer in.
Liddell.
Okay, I gathered up a piece of conduit. I think that's going to fit through the center of the spool of barbed wire. So now what I'm going to do is bore a hole through the pair of these, and then they'll stand like one on each side. This will go between them. Then I'll have some more 2x4, whatever that comes up underneath on each side, goes around the back. Maybe around the front too, to kind of pin it from going front to back, side to side. And then we can just walk her on like a rickshaw with barbed wire spooling out the back end, because we'll be going that way with it. It's worth a shot, right? Problem is my paddle drill is not as big as the conduit. Now I'm going to make it to where it slides in one side, drops in the other, so we're going to cut through that. Okay, I need a mate taser. So my thought is, if I screw these on the sides, like this, it'll keep it from going this way. And then if I put another one underneath, screwed up to it, then it'll keep it from lifting off. Hopefully, I can then do one across the back and underneath, and that way I can just slide this thing on and off instead of having to take it apart to use the wheelbarrow later. I think it'll work. the idea. Another one right here. Premium. Coolio. Okay, so here it is. The barbed wire rickshaw, whatever you want to call it, wheelbarrow tote. Yeah, went ahead and stuck the bar across the front and down the sides so that it didn't spread out too much. Anyway, just a bunch of scrap wood, probably about $3 worth of screws in it, and it leaves you with room to put all your doodads down in there for the rest of the fencing. So yeah, I don't know, it's just something I dreamed up on my drive home. You too can have yourself one of these for free 99. Wow, right off the bat, it got me. That's terrible. All right, now you can use this end as the hammer, but these are kind of lightweight. These are. So I like to use a regular hammer. Okay. Now that's around a square post, so it probably won't pull. We're going to put another one in around the other side, like pinned up against the barbs. Huh, I'm leaking. Yeesh. Tore my pants and I'm leaking. Ooh. Don't tell anybody, I bent it over a little bit. All right, this one here is a pressure treated post. The rest of them are oak. So it might get a little interesting with them things going in. We're gonna put this one way down at the bottom. I'd rather this one be down lower, but we're kind of pinned in right here. The first couple of strands really are for the calves. We had one cow that would literally go underneath and then she would raise her nose up and scooch underneath of it, which is crazy, but she gone. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. This one's going to be kind of weird. We're sort of locked into where we could be, but down by the next post I can adjust. But yeah, let's see how this little wheelbarrow thing works out. I don't think I want to go backwards. Yeah. A little squirrely. Okay. So the idea here is you get these pliers and there's grooves right in there. Go over the top of the barbed wire and you can push it up against the side of the post and then pull on it. I'm up against a barb. Oh man. So I'm trying to get it. There we go. Now, the trick is holding your staple, holding the pliers, and getting it all pounded in at the same time. Now you might ask yourself, why do we have this so stinking close to the ground? Well, again, it's for those cows that want to try and go underneath of everything. And there are different bits of the terrain that go up and down. So right here, it'd be pretty hard to get something underneath of it, but just right over there, we're about that far away. So, I wonder. Good grief. It's all about position. You can't see, but now I can. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, I thought it would be easier to run 2 strands at a time, but as heavy as that thing is, I don't know. And then I think I'm going to go down one way, pulling it tight that way, and then come back and pull it tight the other so that it leans the post back and forth instead of all pulling one way, because I think that's going to try and lever them out of the ground a little bit. I mean, they're pretty solid, but I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. There's quite a bit of clearance versus down at the other end. But then you get over here, you know, and it's a little bit lower, but we can put it underneath of that one. That way cows can't pop it up and then try and go underneath of it. So we'll put this one down, but most of the rest of the ones will be setting it on top. It depends. If we're down, the fence is down low, you want to put them down below. But then as the, you know, our barbs get higher, then we'll put them on top because they're going to be trying to press down. They're trying to get their head through to get to the, you know, grass is greener on the other side of the fence kind of thing. Anyway, yeah, we'll get her done. Now, I will admit, normally when I do this, I'm using old, or reusing rather, old clips. But that actually, I think they've either redesigned them or I'm just not used to using new stuff. But that works pretty darn good. So, there are no directions. Just says fasten barbed wire. Fits 1 1/4 to 1 1/3 posts, 11 gauge wire. Put it on. I'm kind of using my pliers as a gauge. You can count how many of these little nubs you got, but if the T-posts are further in or out of the ground, that doesn't really work. So I'm just trying to get it not taller than, but close. And then the next one, we'll do kind of the same thing, and it'll be, I'm going to the top here, but then under the next nub. Once we get further up, I could probably go to the one above it because we're going to be trying to keep the fence, prevent it from going down. Okay, so we got it tightened up somewhat with the come along, but we're still a little bit low. We want it to be up here. I'm going to go down further on the fence and see if it's hung up on anything. We might have to grab in further and tighten her down some more. It was hung up in a couple spots. Let's see if we can get her to go. Oh, yeah, it's starting to pinch. Ooh. All right, I think that's as good as we're gonna get. I started pre-drilling these oak posts. They are hard. So I drill a hole, scribe a line so I know, like, I'm drilling here and then here. This one happens to be in line with this brace, so we're just going to go with that. I'll put a couple of them right up against the barbs so that it won't let it relax back that way. So this is the distance we want. I put this in level with a level. But our terrain goes up and down, and you kind of want to match your terrain with the barbed wire. That's just a little too far. I mean, cow's head is going to be about this high, so we'll bring it down. Bring it down about like that. It's just going to put a little more tension on the wire. Made an upgrade to the barbed wire rickshaw cup holder. Absolutely a necessity when it's cold outside. Okay, so there's a couple of different kinds of clips. These are the ones I'm more used to doing. They've got a hook on this end and then a big open hook on that end. This one has a hook on one end and it's just more of like a latch on the other. Latch probably isn't the right word, but anyway. So these ones, both of them really, I like to close it up a little bit so that it just barely hangs on there versus being really open. So these ones here, push over. Oh, let's make sure we're the right height though. They just click underneath. And then on these pliers, I mean, you could use regular pliers, but on these pliers, this top little bit, you just grab a hold of it, rock that baby over. Sorry, my arm's in the way. Pull it tight, and I mean, that thing's on there. These ones here, you can use a nail or like a Phillips screwdriver or something like that. But same thing, you hook it, but instead, you use this kind of like as a lever thing, and it pulls it down, and then you just continue all the way around, and it'll pop out when it's tight enough. But that helps suck it down. And then I just got it all tied up in what I was doing, and that's too low. They come off kind of the same way if you have to move your fence because you're not paying attention. Anyway, those are the two different styles that I've ever dealt with. More this one. This is something that I got with the last batch of T-posts. Anyway, hope that helps somebody out. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.